Welcome to Super Rant Season 1 Doomsday Preppers. Here we rewatch superhero movies to explore how they build towards bigger stories, starting with Avengers Doomsday and the MCU. Welcome to Super Rant. This is the show where we watch movies and talk about how they relate to other movies, starting with the MCU and Avengers Doomsday. As always, my name is Brian, and I'm happy to be here.
My name is Kevin. I'm a lead writer for Screen Rant, covering all things Star Wars, superheroes, and all sorts of fun stuff.
Today we are talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
Which came out in what year, Kevin?
2018.
2018. And this is the movie that directly follows Infinity War. And so, we're talking about what's going on there, and this movie leads directly into Endgame. So we'll be chatting a little bit about the quantum realm and all that good stuff. And then we got some good big news things today as well.
Yes.
But first off, let's start as we sometimes do with on a scale of 1 to 10. What do you rank this movie?
I think like a 7.5. There's a lot of stuff I like about it, but I think it gets pretty overshadowed in the grand scheme with like it's like sandwiched right between Infinity War and Endgame. So I think it's kind of easier to forget about, but I had a lot of fun rewatching it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's sometimes an overlooked movie. But yeah, I'd give it like a 7. It's one of those things where I really like the stakes in this movie, in the fact that like they aren't super big, like everything is really self-contained. Like the issues that the villain has are all personal.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any goals to take over the world or to subjugate anybody else. She just wants to, get better, and she's willing to, throw anybody aside to get that for herself.
Yeah, and the danger she poses is personal,
Right. To the point where the person closest to her is like, you're going too far, And then, like, it's all just a very, like, they're not going to all these exotic locations. They're not, traveling the country. It's all in, like, the San Francisco area, which is just super cool.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, like, it's very self-contained in a good way.
Which I think is important because, after you have a movie like Infinity War, where the scope was so huge, the stakes were so high, and, like, the emotional impact of that movie on, like, the universe was so large, to have a movie like this that feels a little bit lighter, a little bit funnier, where, you don't need to take it as seriously. I think that's okay. I think having MCU movies that, aren't these huge movies, I think is totally fine if you do them well and if you write them well, which I think this movie is.
Yeah, and I will also say I think I've enjoyed rewatching this movie way more after seeing Quantumania, Ant-Man 3. I appreciate what was done in the first two movies way more.
And I think that this movie really leans into, I think, the found family dynamic that a lot of the MC movies kind of, tackle.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's Scott and Hank and Hope, and, like, they've become like a family in the midst of things as well. And
dysfunctional, but yeah.
But, like, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to make a pun here. Because then they find Janet, and it's their found family.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. There's your dad joke for But anyways, yeah, I think it's a good movie. I think that maybe there, I would have liked to see more use of like the ant army, in my opinion. Like I know
Mm-hmm.
Hank does a pretty good job of like utilizing them, but
Yeah.
like the main way that they use the ants in this movie is either Scott's flying around on one or Hank turns them big and controls them. Whereas like
Yeah, like
something from
uses
the
them as like
first
the
Ant-Man movie,
GPS. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. What I really liked in the first Ant-Man movie was like Scott shrinking down and really like commanding his soldiers, you know.
yeah, and using a
And
different
like I
variety of
don't think
ants for different tasks and
yeah,
stuff. That was cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we didn't really get that in this movie, which is kind of a bummer. I think like there could have been ways that they had done that. Um, but yeah, I think that just like one of the reasons why the first movie works so well is because they did take his powers really seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe in this movie they didn't do the same thing because specifically with Scott's powers, it was all about like, oh, the suit doesn't work correctly, and so I'm gonna be big now and I'm gonna be little now and ha ha ha, look at this, which
Right.
don't get me wrong, is objectively funny,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also like, okay, well, I really like you taking his power seriously, and then Scott could be funny enough by himself to not have to poke fun at the fact that he's a shrinking guy.
True. True. I mean, like, yeah, when the powers aren't necessarily used as a gag, they are quite impressive when you really think about it. Um, but yeah, that's a great point.
On the flip side of that, though, Hope's powers are really cool. The Wasp has great powers, and like that scene where she's showcasing her new suit and she's flying around. She's running on um the knife, and like she's got her
Oh, the
her
kitchen fight.
stingers and like that.
Yes. Yes.
So cool.
That is a
And
great
then like
sequence.
other scenes in the movie where they're using like the cars and stuff that shrink and grow. I think those are really
Yeah.
fun. And I think Ghost's powers are done in a really, really cool way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, like I think this movie does a like visually is very interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Can we talk
and
about
I
Can
I
we talk about
liked
Ghost for a second? Just because
sure.
something that just hit me as we were rewatching this is I was like, oh my gosh, like it is crazy that we hadn't seen her for so long, and then her next appearance was last year in Thunderbolts. She's got a great new costume, the whole deal. And when so many other characters, like, we don't know if they are or aren't going to be in, like, Doomsday, we know that Ghost is going to be in Doomsday, which I think is
Yeah.
crazy. It's
Well, so
I wouldn't have expected it, but I think it's really cool, especially with how they've kind of evolved her character.
yeah. Let's talk about that. I mean, so um, like you said, we know that Ghost is going to be in Doomsday, and I would argue that she's probably going to have a smaller role than some other characters.
Yeah.
Um, just because like no hate at all to the character, but nobody's favorite character is Ghost,
No, I mean, there's
right?
not a lot of star power
Um,
there.
but what I'm actually interested in is the fact that both Ghost and Ant-Man are going to be in this
I
movie,
was gonna
and
say,
that like what kind of interactions are they going to have? Have they interacted at all since Ant-Man and the Wasp, or
mm-hmm.
is she still getting treatments from Janet and stuff like that, or like what's going on?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a great point, and I
And not that
would
I want
love
to
to see
spend
them.
a whole
No, but I would love to see them connect.
yeah, just be like, oh, like have like an awkward like, hey,
If it writes
I
itself,
don't I don't
it
need to
writes
spend a
itself.
lot of time.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need to spend a lot of time in Doomsday like going over all that because there's better things to do and better interactions I want to
Sure,
see.
sure.
But it's just like, oh, yeah, this is a character that will be a part of the story, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that'll be
Mm-hmm.
interesting enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, but something with Ghost's powers is that she's her quantum instability and shifting in between like dimensions and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the clarification that I want to make is this is a shifting between like the dimensions of this timeline, and she's not shifting between different multiverses. Because that's the first time I watched
okay, you mean
this.
different realities in the multiverse.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's not like shifting from, this core MCU timeline to the Fantastic Four timeline to the X-Men timeline.
Right.
It's a shifting between, the quantum and the I guess I don't know what you would call it, like the main world.
Sure.
Because the first time I watched this, I was thinking, oh, because they were explaining the science behind it, which is really convenient that the thing that Bill Foster is teaching on in the class is the thing that she's struggling with.
Yeah.
Really convenient for the audience.
Love it.
But the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, is she like, slipping between dimensions? Like, no, it's just between like the quantum and, her current and like all that. And the solidity of who she is.
Yeah, phasing through different states of reality, I guess.
Yeah. And I think that's an important distinction to make as we go into a movie that's going to be really multiverse heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's it. Yeah, that's good.
So something, let's move a little bit into the news here, with what's going on, in the world of nerddom in Marvel. Recently Marvel released, this big poster concept art
Mural type deal.
mural of Doomsday we see Doom's masks, we see a whole bunch of the other characters that are going to be in it. So we see Captain America and Thor. We've got Sam Wilson's Captain America. We've got Shang-Chi. We've got Shuri and M'Baku. We've got all the Thunderbolts there. Loki's directly in the middle, which is super cool. We've got the Fantastic Four. We've got the X-Men, and what X-Men we know for sure are going to be in the movie. We've got Ant-Man.
Yep.
Who else am I missing? Did I get everybody?
I think so. I'm looking at it right now. I think you got everybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And so we're seeing some of the character designs that'll be in it. So like I really like the Fantastic Four design with like, they're not all the same, and they've got these cool jackets.
The jackets are cool. Reed's jacket is sweet.
The new
actually.
Falcon.
Yes.
The new Falcon is also in it.
Joaquin Torres. Yep.
Yes. And there's some really cool costumes. I'm really excited about it. But what's interesting is that Ant-Man is wearing his costume from this movie and Endgame, because the costume that he wears in Endgame is this costume.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not wearing the suit that he has from Ant-Man 3.
Right.
And so maybe that's just them deciding, oh, we like the old costume better, so we're going to go with that. Or maybe we get some, like, weird time travel, quantum realm, multiversal stuff, where, like, Doom causes something to happen so that, like, the events of Endgame never take place, or like they find a version in a version of the multiverse where Ant-Man never leaves the quantum realm and is able to like bring his technology to bear. Like I wonder if there's a story reason why he still has his Ant-Man and the Wasp costume.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I mean, it's always kind of hard to tell when it's literally just like concept art, basically. But that's a.
Right.
I mean, good on you for spotting it, because I don't think I would have caught that.
But we also know that Hope the Wasp isn't going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
And so there are real world reasons why Evangeline Lilly won't be in the movie.
Yeah.
But
think,
like, what if
Cassie,
narratively?
I think we know Cassie's gonna have at least a small role. Scott's daughter.
Oh, okay, yeah, but like narratively, what if there's things that they do so that this is an older version of Ant-Man and not The like, what if they just like
Right.
erase Quantumania from history? Is what I'm trying to say.
That'd be wild. I wouldn't put it past them because that would maybe get them out of like the whole Kang of it all. But like, yeah, I mean, here's the thing: like ahead of a teaser with a movie like this, and it's so like multiverse heavy. Like at the moment, I'm like, oh yeah, everything's on the table. It could be, yeah. I mean, it definitely sounds at least plausible for sure. Um, I wanted to talk about some of my biggest questions. I did an article on this yesterday. Some of my biggest questions from the mural, are just things I'm like really curious about. Firstly, would be Sam Wilson's Avengers.
Sure, yeah. Like, who's on the team?
Yeah, because like okay, so end of Brave New World, he's planning on bringing back the Avengers. The only one I can think of that's probably a for sure is Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon. Um, and the two of them are together on the mural. But like everyone else is kind of like together in like teams, or like they were like former founding Avengers. So it's like it's hard to tell from this mural like who's on Sam's official team, and it's been implied that he
Sure.
has the team built before Doomsday, because he has that whole like there's that post credit scene in Thunderbolts where like Sam wants to like get into litigation because the Thunderbolts are calling themselves the new Avengers. So
Right, yeah.
there's an implication there that he already has a team built. So I'm trying to think of like, okay, so maybe Shang-Chi's on the team because he like kind of quasi got recruited at the end of his movie. Sam and Ant-Man have a relationship because Sam's the one who got Scott on Cap's team in Civil War. So
Makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, like, but beyond the four of them, it's like I don't know who else would be like.
Maybe like the Hulk. But
Yeah,
maybe these are characters we won't see in this movie.
yeah, because then we get into like characters who
Um,
haven't even been confirmed as part of the cast yet. But like, that's my
right.
other question: is like, okay, so Hulk, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange. Where are some of those like big Avenger
Miss
heavy
Marvel.
hitters? Yeah, yeah. Where are some of those like heavy hitters?
Maybe they consider like Shuri, Black Panthers to be on that team.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Um, but you know, you look at the like that one of those the teasers that they've released, and it looks like the Wakandans are kind of being paired with the Fantastic Four to a little bit, at least when they're like visiting Namor.
Yeah.
That's a good point
Mm-hmm.
too. Namor's aren't isn't on this mural either. So
Oh yeah, but we know he's in the movie.
yeah, so it looks like there are some people who just
Oh, that's
aren't
interesting.
on the artwork. So makes me think there's maybe just saving some surprises. I think the same goes for the X-Men. Like there's the seven we know that are part of the confirmed cast, but I bet you we're going to see a few more than that, even if they aren't around for super long. Loki in the center is exciting. He's like right directly under Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
I
I think
think
that's really cool.
I think that
I
communicates
think
a lot.
we've talked about in the past that Loki's new role as like the god holding the time in the
Yeah.
universe
Big
together.
multiversal protector.
When we talk about the original Secret Wars, not the original, but the newer one that they did,
The 2015 comics
where
event.
yeah, and like the characters that are in that and that are big players, like Loki could take the role of like a Molecule Man
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a Beyonder,
Where Doom's
or
trying to claim his
like
power. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like in order for Doom to be able to stitch together, these different timelines and these different universes into his own world, he needs something to be able to hold it all together.
Yep.
And when we look at the MCU, Loki is that character that is currently holding everything together.
Yes. Yes. I think it communicates a lot. I think Loki might be might serve as a pretty significant like plot device.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, last thing I wanted to talk about was you look at this mural and obviously Doom is front and center looming over everybody, and then the two heroes that are kind of the biggest flanking on either side is Reed Richards and Steve
Yep.
Rogers. And
Yep.
I'm wondering who Doom is going to have the bigger rivalry with. Because I think it's easy to say, oh, Reed Richards, just like in the comics, they've got this, they're like the biggest rivalry in all of superhero comics, lifelong, nemesis, the whole deal. I think they're going to kickstart off the rivalry in the MCU because Doom took Reed and Sue's son at the end of Fantastic Four. Um, but at the same time, I think we can't forget about, the Robert Downey Jr. of it all. And whatever that connection is going to be could lead to like also just as strong of a rivalry with Steve Rogers, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I
It
think
could be
that
interesting.
there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of different character interactions with
Yes.
who Doom is.
Yes. For sure. Um
What do you think about Cap just wearing a black shirt?
I mean, like on the one hand it's kind of funny because it's like this he's got enough like reputation and aura that he like I don't even need a suit. I just need Mjolnir. Like on the one hand I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. It's also a way to like, I guess distinguish him from Sam Wilson's Captain America without like taking away from either of them. But at the same time, it's like there was never an issue in the comics with Steve and Sam like wearing the stars and stripes at the same time.
Yeah.
So I would hope at least at some point, even if it's in like the final act, that like Steve Rogers gets like Sam brings him a suit or something. Like he gets that Captain America suit again. Because if you don't, at least at some point, I feel like it's a missed opportunity.
Well, so I wonder if they're specifically not putting him in a costume in any of the promo stuff because when he does put on a costume, he's not going to be the variant of Captain America that we know. And what if he ends up being like a Hydra Cap?
Oh, you were talking to me about this. Yes. Yes. That could. I
Like,
mean,
what if there's a big reveal that they don't want us to be aware of?
yeah. And then it's like Evans and Downey as villains working together. That would be crazy.
Could be cool.
That
And
would be crazy.
if Doom needs like a sheriff
Oh,
for
yeah. Like in the comics
his
event.
universe,
Yeah.
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 Like if Doom needs like a right hand man, maybe that's Hydra Cap.
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool. I also still kind of want to see Doctor Strange in that role like he was in the comics
Oh,
as Sheriff
definitely,
Strange. And
definitely.
I think that's maybe why they're saving Benedict Cumberbatch for Secret Wars because we know he's going to be in Secret Wars. I think Cumberbatch confirmed that a while back. But
Be super surprised if he wasn't, because at the end of Doctor Strange 2, he's going off to fight incursions.
well, yeah, it's like who has more multiversal experience than Doctor Strange? Like, yeah. I mean, we'll get into that with pretty quickly with Multiverse of Madness. But
Yep.
beyond the mural, real quick, let's talk about X-Men 97. Great new episode.
It's cool.
Did
It's
some
good.
cool
It's
Weapon
awesome.
X, some Weapon X stuff that I loved. Wolverine focused episode, but in a really good way. Kind of like a two-hander with Morph, who I'm loving more and more. It's a great time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's very cool character.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect, just like perfect for cameos, perfect for cool powers, synergies, the whole deal. Last big thing on my mind is Batman Part 2 got delayed, so it's not coming out till February of 2028. Which means
Yeah,
it's going to be a long time before we get that DCU Batman movie, which is a bummer. But Matt Reeves did release a little teaser of Pattinson, and there's like some minor changes to his cowl. Ears are a little bit longer. The nose is, I think, a little more angular. Nothing huge, but pretty exciting to see Pattinson in the Batsuit again.
Yeah, I mean, the Batman is one of my favorite superhero movies, and I'm just really excited
100%.
for the next one. So,
Oh, yeah.
cannot get here fast enough.
Seriously. Any other big stuff on your mind that you wanted to talk about, kind of like news wise?
Not really. I
Okay.
think we're headed into um a couple weeks. We've got Spider-Man and Comic-Con, so
Yeah, there's
there'll
gonna
be
be
some.
plenty to talk about soon.
Yep, I'm sure. I'd be very surprised if by the end of the month we
Mm.
didn't have a Doomsday trailer.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp. First off, the post-credit scene I think is awesome.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Just the way that it ties it, like we said, like it's lighter, it's funnier, it's more self-contained than Infinity War. But then they give you that awesome reminder of like, oh no, 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 no. There's stuff still went down in Infinity War that affects
Yeah.
everyone. I
Oh
thought that
yeah.
was I think it's one of the best post-credit scenes, I think, for like one of those like solo MCU movies. Um Also, I think I made this comment to you when we were rewatching. Uh, do you think Ant-Man and the Wasp would have been better had it released like a couple years later during COVID?
Oh yeah, probably because
Because
you got all that stuff with Scott under house arrest and can't
yeah,
can't leave and
he's
all
like
that.
trying
So
to he can't leave his house. He's trying to keep himself busy. He's got a drum set. He's taking baths. He's reading books. I was like, oh man, people would have resonated with this so much harder if it had just released like 2 years later. I thought that
yeah.
was really funny. But anyways, I think that's all we've got for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep. Next week we'll be talking about Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Um, and that one also leads into what's going on in Endgame. So go ahead and watch that beforehand, and we will see you next time. Thank you for listening to Super Rant Season 1 Doomsday Preppers. Look out for our following episode next Friday. And remember to watch the upcoming movie before listening. You can find a link to our watch schedule on our YouTube page.